All right, everyone, you have 2 minutes to do your hat guessing, and then I'll be with you. So yeah, if you want to do that, go ahead. You've got plenty of time. All right, here we go. Oh God, there we go. I lost the button. Hey, I've got the hat on. Hey. I think, you know what? I think, have I done multiple hat streams in a row? I can't remember. I don't really keep track of it. Let me change the music real quick. Ooh, Arid, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, everyone's here. Hi, Canine. Hi, Ines. Hello. Okay. Hippo. Oh my God, everyone's here. The whole gang. The entire Moog Massive is here right now. Hello. This is the very first episode of what I am calling Moog's Book Talk. It's very, it's quite a self-explanatory title, because you guys won't believe this. I am Moog. Whoa, that's crazy. And I'm going to talk about some books. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. So I want to, because this is the very first one. I want to just, I'm figuring out the format. I'm workshopping everything. I am very anxious because I always get very anxious about streams where it's just me chatting. Because I don't know, it's just a very anxiety inducing thing. But I wanted to do it, obviously. So yeah, gonna be workshopping it a bit, figuring out the format. This is gonna be a very laid back, chill one. Essentially, what I'm gonna be doing is talking about the kind of books that I like in general, talking about some faves of mine. Let the yap flow through you. Exactly. And also talk about all of the books, well, maybe not all, but most of the books I've read this year so far. And, what I've thought of them, what my faves have been. And then maybe also some books that are coming out later in the year that I'm excited for as well. Yeah, Pixie! Oh my God, hello, my top geezer. I love you, Pixie. Welcome in. So, in terms of the format, why is my chat on the screen so small? Hello? Right, so again, I made this OBS scene this morning. So, there's going to be some things to iron out. It's fine. But yeah, I've turned off a lot of the point things like the sound alerts and things like that. Also, for things like raids, and stuff like that. Congrats on getting first. It might take me a moment to acknowledge them. Just, you know, if I'm in the middle of a tangent, I don't want to, like, you know, interrupt it. But when I see something like that, I will wrap up as soon as possible and then acknowledge the raid. Also, similarly, if I'm in, like, a tangent and I miss or I'm late with people coming in and saying hi, feel free to say hi to other people coming into the chat as well. I'd really appreciate that, because I'm trying my best to basically to keep it nice and easy for like the VOD gang to watch and that kind of thing. Again, I'm still figuring this all out. Also, I know I have a feeling this is going to be quite controversial. I have turned off small moog summoning as well. Because I just want to keep this as me, you know, don't have it too chaotic. I'm not actually sure if small moog can read. I think she might be illiterate, but I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, you all know that I love to yap. Like when I'm doing something else, like playing a game, I'm fine with yapping, but for some reason I get so anxious when it is literally just me. It's scary. I'm like, oh god, no one's gonna like it. Exactly. Only massive moog of the famous moog massive. Exactly. I've forgotten where I was gonna go already. I'm a shark. Hi, hello, welcome in. So obviously I'm talking about books. I really like books. The reason this whole thing came about, let me start with that. That's my first little tangent, right? How this came about. So I really like books. I really like to read. And I would like to share this, you know? I'm going to quickly hydrate. Hi, Ezros. Hello. I like to read books, right? They're good, you know? I've read them pretty much my whole life. But I've gotten into it a lot more because I kind of stopped for a while and I got more into it like maybe the past year or so, year and a bit. Hi, God, welcome in. And it's just something that I've really wanted to share because I just like sharing all my hobbies. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I have to monetize and make content out of all of my hobbies. I genuinely just want to share things with people. And this is a good outlet for it. And I wanted to do that. And I realized, because like I watch a lot of like book related content creators on YouTube and stuff, there's like no VTubers doing it. Or if there is, I don't know about it. And I wanted to do one of my big things that maybe I'll do as a goal later on is a book club. But the thing is, obviously I'm aware that I'm, you know, a relatively smaller creator. So, you know, I didn't want to do a book club and say, hey guys, let's read this book and talk about it. And then like no one show up. So I've done this as a way to still talk about books in a format that's a bit more accessible, you know? Like, if you don't read a lot, that's totally fine. You know, I hope you still enjoy listening to this, and you might find some things. When I'm talking about the books that I like, I'll definitely be giving some recommendations. And I think reading is a really good hobby. Not to sound like a boomer, but you know, in this day and age with everything being so like online and like screens and social media and all that, it's just nice to have a, you know, a hobby like reading. I think it's something that's really kind of stood the test of time. And I find it quite mindful, you know. It's quite, I feel like self-care and mindfulness and all of that is very important, and I find it quite relaxing. Yeah, alright, that's the thing. I might do like mini ones as like a little segment as part of this, but I thought I'd do something like this kind of as a more overall thing. Yeah, oh my god, I was such a reader in primary school. For the UK gang, did you guys have like the summer reading challenges when you were at school? Where it was like, it was like over the summer holiday, and it was like, I can't remember how many books it was. I think it was like 6 books, and then you'd get like a little like medal or something. Yeah, I miss the reading challenges. I did them every year, and I did them so quick. We should make like an adult's version. Oh my god. Maybe, should we start a reading challenge? Should we do a moog reading challenge? Oh my god, that'd actually be such a fun idea. We should do like a moog. So it's not necessarily a book club in the sense you have to read the same thing, but maybe we all just like read a book and then we just say, I read this, I liked this, or I didn't like this, you know? Oh my God, that's actually a good idea. Am I cooking? By the way, I have, for stuff like this, yeah, oh my God, it was so sweet. For stuff like this, I do have a book-related text channel in my Discord server. So for stuff like that, I do recommend it. You can do !Discord to, you know, get the link to that if you would like. You do not have to. Yeah, I would be very surprised if it's not still a thing. I hope it's still a thing. I hope so. Yeah, because I really enjoyed doing that. They should do one for adults. We should do a Moog one. Oh my God. I mean, we're already partway through the summer, so maybe it's too late, but maybe we do some kind of like community little challenge. That'd be fun. That's a nice idea for the future. All right. I have, if we're going to get into, you know, the kind of things that I like, when we to yap about my obsessions, I am going to bring up my Goodreads thing. We're going to have a visual aid. Oh, there we go. Oh, I just had it on like a Firefox window capture. I was so scared it was going to show like the wrong tab and you'd see like my Twitter timeline or something. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Listen, there's probably going to be some technical difficulties here. You're going to have to bear with me. All right. So yeah, I have Goodreads. I also have Storygraph, which is another one, which is kind of similar. I use both of them. So I'm going to post the link to my Goodreads. I'm going to post that there and pin it so that you can look at it as well at the same time. There we go. And if I can't remember how URLs on Storygraph work. I think it maybe is just like storygraph.com/user/moogreads or something, or maybe just /moogreads. I can't remember, but my username on both of these is moogreads. I just don't know if you can like search by username on Goodreads. I don't know. It's kind of a janky website, I can't lie. But yeah, you should update it, Pixie. If anyone has Goodreads or Storygraph, feel free to add me on there because I'm nosy. I want to know what people are reading. I want to know what people like. So I'm pretty much just gonna use this as a visual aid and also as a guide for me to, you know what to yap through. So I hope you don't mind. Also, in terms of like the length of episodes, listen, man, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, make a Goodreads. It's so fun. I don't know, actually. I think you can make like little community groups. It's either on Goodreads or Storygraph, or maybe on both. So maybe I could make like a little Moog group that we can all join. Yeah, oh, you added me. Oh yeah, I'll have a look. I'll have a look later. I'll have a look. Oh, so yeah, I'm pretty much just going to use this as an aid. Don't know how long episodes are going to be yet. Kind of just figuring it out. In terms of the kind of frequency of episodes, that I also don't know. I'm not going to do it every week, at least not right now. I'm thinking I might do maybe monthly as I'm just starting out, and then with the aim to eventually make it bi-monthly. I don't know. It really depends on how busy I am in a given month and that kind of thing. If I was able to stream 4 days a week, I probably would do it bi-weekly, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. Basically, what I want to get across is that it's not going to be weekly, just because I can't fit it in. But I'm going to make it semi-regular. I'm going to try my best. So if it's a bit infrequent, bear with me. Let me cook. Also, one thing we're going to do in the future is right now for the first few episodes, kind of when I'm figuring it out, gaining my confidence and all of that, is I want to do guest episodes where pretty much it's a bit like a Desert Island Disc scenario, right? Where I invite a guest on and then they pick 3 of their favorite books and we talk about their favorite books. We share, our favorites. I think I'd like to get like a variety of guests, because then with that you get like a variety of book choices as well, because I have my genres, I have my types of books that I stick to. And I do try and branch out every now and then, so I'd like to do that more. And I know everyone here that reads probably has very different tastes as well, you know. Oh yeah, Arid, I totally get that. Yeah, getting to the end and waiting for a new one. I mean, listen, we all know Winds of Winter ain't coming out. The day it actually does, if it does, would be insane. I've never read the Game of Thrones books though, and I'm curious. I would quite like to, because I used to be really into the TV show back in the day, and I've heard that the books are very different. Like, there's a lot of things that weren't included in the show. But then I've heard that there are parts of the books that are kind of dodgy, so I'm like, I don't know. I've heard Fire and Blood's good though. And I actually haven't watched House of the Dragon yet. Actually, I think I watched the first episode a little while ago. So yeah. Pixie, oh my god, thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. Boys of Tommen. Oh yeah, that's the, oh, that rings a bell. Oh, true. Yeah, I've never read any of his stuff either. Yeah, because that's the, oh, it's like Name of the Wind or whatever. I can't remember. I have, listen, in terms of like the big kind of OG fantasy authors, just assume I haven't read them, because I haven't read Lord of the Rings either. I haven't read any Tolkien or Terry Pratchett or any of that kind of stuff. I don't know why. I don't know why. I haven't like avoided them. Actually, to be fair, I'm kind of indifferent towards Lord of the Rings. But anyway, that is a topic for another time, because I have an awful feeling it's gonna ruffle some feathers. So we're not gonna do that. Maybe we do a whole episode about Tolkien. Yeah. And my fact that I just am not bothered about Lord of the Rings. Oh yeah, Binding 13. It's is the author's name Chloe Walsh, I think? Yeah. I know a lot of like random book titles and authors purely because, for those who don't know, I used to work in a bookshop until a couple of months ago. It was a big UK chain bookshop that we can call it Aqua Rocks. That's what we can call it. Yeah, I used to work there for a bit, for like, I don't know, like 2.5 years maybe. Listen, it's probably fine to like say the actual name, because I'm not gonna like slag anyone off or anything. I'm just not risking it. I'm just not risking it, all right? Listen, if you know, you know. It was overall a good experience. I just had some very mixed feelings. It's fine. Again, maybe we can talk about that another time. So, Goodreads account. Yes, me read. Moog read. Moog does not draw, but Moog does read. This is getting very chaotic already. This is what happens when you just let me yap unsupervised. Also, listen, maybe, you know what? And I keep coming up with random ideas for things. Yeah, so basically, for the non-UK gang, the place that I'm calling Aqua Rocks, which definitely is not a you know, a different name, you know, it's fine, is pretty much, in terms of vibes and size, I guess it's kind of the UK equivalent of like Barnes and Noble. I'm going to New York later this year, by the way, and I'm definitely going to try and go to a Barnes & Noble, because I'm really curious as to what it's like in comparison, you know. Maybe I'll like do a little video about it. Oh, that'd be fun. Anyway, yeah, we sometimes draw, mostly read. So true. Yeah, maybe, because I said like all these big famous authors I've never read before, like Pratchett and stuff. Maybe I can do like a little video or an episode where I try some Pratchett books, or I try Tolkien, or I try whatever, you know. Maybe we do somewhere I try a couple of books from a specific author that I haven't read from before, and before anyone says it as a laugh, I'm not going to be reading any Colleen Hoover, all right? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, all right? No, don't get me started. Anyway. Honestly, I feel like it's just I want to try just to try. Do you know what I mean? Oh, don't get me started, Cod. Colleen Hoover is like big book talk author girlies. Yeah. It's... Listen. Here's another thing I want to bring up in terms of my reading opinions. I do not want to say, you know, I don't want to trash anyone's tastes. I don't want to say like, oh, audiobooks or whatever doesn't count as reading. Or like, I don't want to slag off what people are reading, because to be honest, at the end of the day, reading is reading and it's a good hobby that I encourage everyone to try. However, I will judge Colleen Hoover and Joyers a little bit, just a little bit. I can eat. Hi, welcome in, hello. And yeah, feel free to look. Yeah, honestly, I'll judge the Colleen Hoover and Joyers just a little bit. Like, you do you. It's just, it's making my eye twitch a little bit. Do you know what I mean? A little bit of judgment as a treat. Yeah. Just a little bit. Also, people that like Harry Potter, just a bit too much. Like, there are other books, guys. Anyway, again, I don't want to stare into like controversial things on my very first episode. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. You know, maybe we do an episode where we're just spilling tea. It's fine. So, Goodreads. Here's what we're going to do. I think... yeah, exactly. Look, I never really read them as a kid. It kind of went over my head. Anyway, I thought yeah. We'll get into deeper things once I've got into a bit. I thought for a nice... yeah, VN's absolutely fucking count. Oh my God, we should do a VN episode. Listen, if I get a chance to yap at you all about Umineko, I will do it. I love Umineko. Oh my God. Okay, so little segment I thought would be fun for each episode. And it's helpful because I have my Goodreads open. It's just to do a mini thing of like, oh, what am I reading right now? So we have these. This is what I'm currently reading. Pretty much, right? Because I read, in terms of like different formats of books, right? I read physical, audio, and I do have a Kindle as well. So typically I have one of each on the go at the same time, kind of depending on what format I'm in the mood for. Sometimes I do have more than one at once because I am a little bit of a mood reader. I cannot lie. Currently I'm quite good and I only have one of each. Multi-chat reading, exactly. Yeah, Umineko and Higurashi episode. Hell yeah. Honestly, that'd be kind of fun. Anyway, I need to write down all of these ideas I'm having. Anyway, so I'll start from the bottom, maybe. So my audiobook is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. It's a sequel to Fourth Wing, which is like a big book talk fantasy book that came out last year, I think. Last year. That sounds right. It's pretty much, yeah, it was just a massive fantasy release. It's from like this new, romantasy genre where it's like fantasy romance or whatever. I am delving into the world of romantasy as just someone that's observing it and is like, this is interesting how it's just blown up out of nowhere. And I don't really care for romances a lot of the time and like smutty books and whatever. It's just not for me. Like, I don't know. I can't, like, in a situation like Fourth Wing, for example, when I read that, because I read that as an audiobook as well, like, all the bits that are like the romance and all the spiciness and they're talking about like how horny they are. I'm like, I don't care. Go back to the dragons. I don't care about the romance. I want to know more about the dragons and the magic and the politics. So I do have problems with romantasy in that regard. I've read a few. I think for me, it all depends on like, is it just relying on the characters being hot? But some of them do have like an actual story and things going on and like world building and just happen to be about a romance. I don't know. Hi Chris, welcome in. So Fourth Wing, I feel like for me, is kind of like my junk food read. It's like, I wouldn't say this about romantasy as a genre as a whole, just because like I don't know enough about it yet and I don't want to judge a whole genre. But I, you know, for Fourth Wing and that whole series, my whole viewpoint on it is like, you wouldn't go to McDonald's and expect a gourmet meal. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is just my fun read. I kind of don't really care about the romance. If I'm being honest, I think the main character is kind of annoying. But I like the world and I like the magic system with like the dragons and stuff. Because basically it's about like this military academy or whatever, where they're training to become like dragon riders. And what they do is like they like bond with dragons, and then doing that like gives them powers and stuff. It's pretty interesting. I do quite like it. It's just a shame that the characters are kind of not great. And some of the writing is a little cringe. It's a little cringe, but I feel like it's not as bad because I'm listening to it. I don't know. But yeah, I haven't listened to it in a little while. I need to come back to it. But yeah, it's all right. I'm scared to get more into it because I've heard that Iron Flame isn't as good. And my thoughts on Fourth Wing were, you know, it's okay. I think, I can't remember what my rating for it was. I think I gave it 3 stars. Which is, for me, I mean, ratings mean different things to everyone. But to me, 3 stars is just a solid, like, it was all right, you know? It was like, I enjoyed it, and that's it. Ooh, and it's sapphic. Oh my God. Yeah, that's another thing, right? If a book is sapphic, especially like sapphic fantasy, I will be there. I will be there. Give it to me. So yes, definitely tell me more about that later. Yes, please. Yes, please. And yeah, I definitely think setting standards is important. Like, you know, sometimes, especially, yeah, with any kind of entertainment, with like a game or a film or whatever, you know, you don't go into it all the time thinking, okay, you know, you go into like a film watching like, I don't know, like the Sonic movie, and you're like, you know, you're not going to go in there expecting like an Oscar winner. Do you know what I mean? Well, I don't know, actually, the Sonic movies are pretty good. They're pretty good. But you know what I mean. Abby, I love you. Hello. Hello. I'm going to have a drink real quick because I'm yapping a lot. There we go. Oh. The difficulty of doing a like podcast talk show thing live is that you can't cut stuff like that out, but that's fine. Because actually I'm quite enjoying it. I like having, you know, you guys to like kind of go off of, you know. It does just feel like I'm chatting to people. It feels much less scary, you know. Yeah, some critics do, I suppose. Yeah, I'm kind of just in it for vibes. The biggest thing is reading this or listening to this or whatever a good experience? Am I enjoying myself regardless of the actual quality? Like, there are some books where like I've rated it maybe slightly higher than I actually think it should be, just because whilst I didn't think it was the best, I had a really good time with it. Do you know what I mean? And also the other way around, where it's like, you know, objectively, maybe the book is pretty good, you know, it's well written and, you know, it has a good plot and characters. I just didn't really feel the vibes, you know? And I think it's an important thing to keep in mind, because at the end of the day, I'm not a professional critic. I'm just a little ice cream alien talking about books on the internet. So it's really not that deep. Anyway, that's my conversation about Iron Flame. I'm 10% of the way through it. And I haven't listened to it in a couple of weeks. It is really long as well. Oh, it'll take me a while. Anyway, my physical read that I am, there's no percentage, but I'm about halfway through, is The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. Is this big enough for you? The Goodreads thing. Can you read that okay? Anyway, this is this a, I know there's a second one. Is it just a duology, or is there going to be more? Let me have a look. One moment, gamers. I am doing research. Oh, why is it taking so long to load? There is going to be another one. Oh, sick. So it might be a trilogy then. The reason, by the way, I found this series, I think I found it because the Lumicrate was doing it, but the reason I was really interested in it is, look, do you see, hang on, can I move myself? Do you see that cover and the way that that woman is sitting or like spreading her legs like dominant and shit? I'm like, oh, yo, this series is gonna have some proper girl bosses in it, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty good. Let me go back to this. Yeah, it's a fantasy. It's a sapphic fantasy. A lot of the themes in it are about like colonialism and that kind of thing, because you have like the main character who is a soldier for like this big empire, who was taken from like her home country as a child, and then it's about her as an adult, as a soldier in this army, coming back to the country that she was from but knows like nothing about, and then it's about like her dynamic with like the princess of like the big empire, who just like, I think if I remember correctly, it's like her uncle is on the throne until like she's fit to rule or whatever, and she fucking hates this guy. She wants to overthrow him so bad, and she's like, oh, fuck this guy. And then they kind of come together in in unusual circumstances, and they're figuring out how to both get what they want in life, and it's really good. It is sapphic, and I do like that. I do like some women who like other women. We like some girl bossing, some kind of cutthroat, ruthless female characters. Love a bit of that. I'll get onto that when I talk about some favourite books of mine. I know. Power Stance. Very exciting. Oh, and you can read it fine. Excellent, thank you. Yeah, I'm about halfway through it. Again, I haven't read it in a few days, just because I've just been reading so much on my Kindle recently because it's so easy. But I need to get back to it because I'm really enjoying this one. I feel like it's a series that I've not heard a lot of people talk about. And yeah, I mean, obviously I can't speak for the whole thing because I'm only like halfway through the first book, but I'm really liking this one so far. I would say out of these three that I'm currently reading, I would say that The Unbroken is the one that I like the most. It is the one that I've read the most of though. But I'm still liking it a lot. Bear with me. Sorry, gamers. All right. Next, the last book in what I was going to say was a mini segment about what I'm currently reading. I've ended up yapping. Is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I literally started this a few days ago. It's like a YA fantasy. I think it's fantasy romance. I could be wrong. Kind of Hunger Gamesy, like a lot of YA books are, where they're like, you have to go and do these trials for your country or whatever, and like, it's a fantasy, so everyone has like powers and stuff, except the main character does not have powers, and she has to hide the fact that she doesn't have powers because it's like illegal or something. Basically, I think the way the world building is, if I remember correctly, I'm very early on in this book, so I could be wrong, is like, I think the story of it is that there was like a big plague that like wiped a bunch of people out, but the people that survived, it gave them like powers or whatever. But then there are still some people that don't have the powers, and people are worried about them like bringing the plague back or something, so they either like exile or like execute people with no powers, basically. So this main character is trying to hide that she doesn't have anything, so she's like faking a power. And then at the point I'm at, she has been like picked to do these trials or these games or whatever. And she's going into it thinking, oh my god, if they find out that I've got no magic, I'm literally screwed. So I've just gotten to that. It's a trilogy, right? Because I believe the second book has just come out. And there was, in between them, there was like a little novella. I think might be a prequel. I could be wrong. I've picked this one up because it was very popular as soon as it came out, you know, when I was at Aqua Rocks or whatever. It was, yeah, very, very popular. And I was curious about it, but not curious to, I can't speak, not curious enough to buy it, you know? But then the magic of the 99p Kindle deals. If you are not a Kindle enjoyer, then let me tell you, every month, a bunch of ebooks on Amazon are 99p, and you can get so many good ones. And also there's like daily ones. So there's also ones that like change every day. I literally, the first thing I do every morning when I wake up is check the Kindle daily deals. I'm insane. I am insane. My Kindle backlog, I've only had a Kindle since like the start of the year. I have such a big backlog already just because of all the 99p books. It's great, honestly. Literally, I look forward to the first of a month so much because then I get to browse all the new deals. I'm crazy. But yeah, I saw this, I want to say it was last month. It was fairly recent. And it was on the 99p thing. And I was like, I've seen a lot of people talk about this. You know what? It's 99p. I might as well give it a try. Because I haven't heard like really bad things about it, but I have heard mixed things. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's not for me. I feel like I'm slowly growing out of YA books. I don't know. Because there are some YA books that I really like. And then there are some times where I've read YA books and I just feel like I'm being talked to like I'm a toddler. And I'm like, God, no, make it stop right now. Okay, so yeah, it's so far I'm very early on in it. And again, I think it's a pretty long one. So it's okay. It's still setting things up. So I've got a Lem Cook. Oh, hang on, I think I'm gonna sneeze, one sec. Nope, we're good. False alarm. But yeah, it's all right. I'm intrigued. I think the covers and like the overall aesthetic of it is gorgeous. I really love that. So yeah, I'm intrigued to find out more. There seems to be a lot of interesting setup going on, you know? So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. I haven't been reading in the past couple of days just because I've been staying up late sometimes streaming, sometimes working on con prep, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully I'll be able to read some stuff tonight. Hopefully. Right, we're going to talk about some faves of mine now. So, as I said, I like fantasy. I do read things other than fantasy. But the majority of what I read, not including like manga, is fantasy. I like, you know, strong female characters. Moog faves, yep. I am very normal about my favourite things, and you'll learn this soon enough. I like strong female characters, but not in like the traditional sense. I like kind of, I don't know what the right word is, very kind of, I guess, kind of ruthless female characters, but ones that are like clearly flawed, you know? Like, I love characters, especially like female characters, that have a lot of power and do a lot of cool things, but also have flaws and are controversial, you know? I love it. Give me some of that. I enjoy it very much. And this will reflect in a few of my favorites. Listen, don't talk to me about Ada Wong. Listen, I do love Ada. Listen, she's great. I love a lot of the female Resident Evil characters equally, but I feel like Ada does fulfill that specific need for me. I like them all in different ways, you know? So yeah, I have a few things on like my favorite shelf on Goodreads. Maybe these aren't like my all-time favorites. I don't know. I haven't actually sorted it out yet, but this is a good kind of example. Little sample size, you know? And actually, I am going to open these one by one because I think that's probably going to be easier. So, oh my God, we're starting with a good one. Iron Widow. This book, Oh my God, this book. If the way I describe, let me go over here. The way I described, like a specific type of female character just now, if you also like that, read Iron Widow. Oh my God. It brings a whole new level to girl bossing. Like, she is not afraid to fuck shit up. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy, but it's so good. I love it. I really love it. Cannot recommend this one enough. It's kind of like a fantasy sci-fi blend. All of the marketing, because I cannot lie to you, I hate when books are advertised as like this popular media meets this popular media, but actually it's such a good way of describing things quickly. And this one was marketed as Pacific Rim meets The Handmaid's Tale. And I would say that's fairly accurate in terms of the vibes. I really enjoy it. It's kind of like a sci-fi retelling of Chinese history, which is cool. Yeah, do it, COD. I mean, here's the thing, right? I acknowledge that Iron Widow is probably not for everyone, because like there are books that I would recommend to like everyone. I think anyone would enjoy them. There are some that I think maybe wouldn't, and there are people that don't like this book for particular reasons that I do understand. I just really love it. It was one of the first books I read when I got back into reading proper, and it was the first one I really vibed with. Yeah, also, yeah, the author, absolutely incredible. Best Twitter account I follow. Or one of. I cannot wait for the sequel to this. It keeps getting delayed, unfortunately, for understandable reasons, but also reasons that suck. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. That's completely understandable. But see, that is a real thing that happened in like Chinese history. I learned that because I did a module at uni about China. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But yeah, no, that's understandable. I saw real life pictures of that and I was like, oh my God. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the details because it is pretty grim. But if you know, you know. And if you don't, you can look it up, you know. Yeah, oh God. It's such a fascinating thing, but also in like a very morbid way. Let me close some tabs, actually. Yeah, love this book to bits. It, honestly, I want the second one right now. Although the gap between this one and the second one, it's given me enough time that I can reread it. Which I probably will do because I cannot lie. I forget a lot of things, even in the books I really love. Like, I could say, oh, I really love this book. And someone asks, like, oh, what's it about? I would not be able to tell you. Part of that is just I find describing things like that very difficult, you know, to like articulate. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, this book, great. I feel like it's not for everyone. And I think this is one that I would say check content warnings and stuff like that, because it does deal with some potentially heavy stuff. And that's not for everyone. Some people prefer just having, you know, like a light-hearted read, and that's totally fine. But if you look at the synopsis of this and you think, oh, that might be pretty good, this sounds like something I might gel with, read it. Also, it has, in terms of like the romance, because there's like a romantic subplot, which normally, you know, I don't necessarily hate romantic subplots. It's just not necessarily something I always care for. The one in this is great. It's so good because, firstly, all of the characters involved are likable and believable, and like they gel with each other, but there is still like conflict there. And they all have like distinct personalities. You know, they all have differences and similarities and that kind of thing. Yeah, there were talks, I feel, about a movie of this happening, but I don't know if it is. I would love that though. The romance in this is not really, I don't think this is a spoiler because I think it was used as part of the book's marketing. there is a love triangle in this, but it's like a proper love triangle where it actually goes all the ways. You know, there's 3 people involved and they all like each other. And it's great. It's got some really good poly representation in it. There are some bits in it where it like explores gender and like gender roles and stuff as well. And that's something that I would like to see it explore more. No, it's like an actual triangle. It's so good. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's an actual love triangle. So good. I found it really, like, I thought it was really well written. I like the characters a lot. And yeah, I really loved that aspect of it. Because I'd never really seen a book do something like that before, where it's like, you know, there's these different romance options. And it's like, you know what? Why not both? Why not both? That is the question we always ask in the love triangle scenario. Always. So yeah, love this. Absolutely. Just read it. Read it. Similar kind of vibes, this one, although it's not a sci-fi. It is definitely more kind of fantasy. The Poppy War. Ooh, this is quite a popular series, so some of you might know of it or have read it. This one, by the way, I said this about Iron Widow, but this one, absolutely check the content warnings. Oh my god. This one gets to some really dark places, man. What is it, like chapter 21? If you know, you know. Oh my, I think it's 21. There's a chapter that's just, oh my god. If you've read it, you'll know which chapter I'm talking about. If you know, you know. This book, oh my god. It is about 2 things, I would say. It is about the horrors of war and like colonialism and all that stuff, and feminine rage. And I like a bit of feminine rage. This, honestly, okay, here's my confession, right? This is a trilogy, so there's 3 books. I have not read the 2nd and 3rd one yet, and it is purely due to fear. Like, R.F. Kuang, incredible author. I love her to bits. I think she is a genius. She does scare me a little. She does scare me a little. I cannot lie. Daniel Green? Don't know. I don't think I am. That sounds familiar, though. Bear with me. I'll come back to that. This, oh my god, this is so good. I feel like all of these fantasy books that are like, oh, this girl is special. She's not like other girls. She's going to go to this academy and prove to everyone that she's really strong, not like what everyone else thinks. They all wish that they were the Poppy War. Like, you get all of these romantasy heroines, right? Oh, okay. I always love finding new booktubers, so I'll definitely have a look. Maybe I have. I can't remember. Like, if you took all of the like romantasy heroines that think they're so tough and they're not like other girls and all of that, put them in a room with the main character from this, they are gonna walk out in tears. That's if they even walk out at all. She would beat the shit out of all of them. Absolutely. She is cutthroat. She's like, she does not care. She's ruthless, and I love it. And yeah, I have heard that the 2nd and 3rd books are even crazier, and I'm scared. But I really want to read them, just because I loved this one so much. It's been a while, again, like I said, and it is quite dense, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just has a lot of detail. I feel like I need to reread this one. But oh my god, it's so good. I love it. If this book has 0 fans, I am dead. You better get the funeral ready. You know what I mean? All right. Do I want to talk about the rest of these? I'll talk about Percy Jackson. Why not? I have some shit to say about Percy Jackson. So, I read Percy Jackson very late in my life. I literally, hang on, I have dates for this, I think. Oh yeah, December 2023, I read Percy Jackson for the first time. I know. It's really late in life and I don't know why I didn't read this as a child. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Because I love a bit of Greek mythology as well. And I don't get why I never did. I just have no excuse. I literally have no excuse. But yeah, I have been reading them for the first time since the end of last year, and I've been reading through all of them this year. This man has written a lot of books, by the way, and there's all like different series and stuff. I have no idea. I know the reading order in terms of like the main Percy Jackson series. Past that, with all the other series in like the same universe, I have not got a clue. So once I finish the main series and I want to like read the others, I'm scared because I have no idea how anything kind of fits in with each other, you know? But yeah, I have been I didn't want to just gobble them up, you know, all at once. I wanted to spread them out, take my time with them. So I've been spreading them out in between my other reads. Actually, I'm due to read another one, I would say. Oh, excuse me, I think I'm going to sneeze. Nope, another false alarm. I read the first one at the end of last year, like I said, and then I read the second one kind of early springtime, I feel. So yeah, I need to read the third one. These books, love them to bits. I would say I recommend them, but you guys have probably already read them. If you haven't though, if you're like me and you're very new, definitely read these. I never watched the film as a kid. I obviously knew of it, and then I also heard like how inaccurate they are to the books and how everyone kind of hates them. So I never watched them. And then there was like the Disney Plus series that came out recently. I remember now. I read the first one not that long before the series came out, right? So I was watching the series on Disney Plus. I think there are things about it in terms of like minor changes they made and stuff that is not my favorite. You know, there are some like choices they made that I don't necessarily agree with. But overall, I really enjoyed it. It definitely, from the vibes, I feel like the vibes were closer to the book than the original films maybe were. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see what they do, because I saw that they're like obviously going to do more seasons and like adapt the other books and stuff. So I'm intrigued to see what they do. I do like it. You know, if you're interested in watching the Disney Plus version, I'd say check it out. I'd say it's pretty good. I liked it. I thought the main cast was good. Yeah. So Percy Jackson, I am very new to these, very, very late. But I really like them. I think they're good books. Yeah, I like them a lot. I'm looking forward to reading more. I feel like once I've read more of this series and like the whole shared universe or whatever, this is one I bet I could do a proper like full episode about. Absolutely. Because I feel like there's a lot there to discuss, you know. Do I want to talk about Tempest of Tea? Maybe I can. Yeah. So this one, Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. I think I said that correctly. I don't know. Is a book that came out earlier this year. So it's a very recent favorite of mine. It's another fantasy. It's kind of, I mean, people again describe it of like, it kind of has like Peaky Blinders vibes in terms of like the setting. It's got vampires in it. There's a heist. There's a lot of, this one's kind of hard to talk about without giving too much away, but there's a big group of characters. It's multiple points of view. So you hear from the perspectives of multiple characters like in that group. And it's really cool. I really liked it. I will say, it took me a little while to get into it. Like it's divided into 3 acts, right? And the first act, obviously was setting a lot of things up. So I feel like it kind of, I didn't necessarily not enjoy it. It just took me a while to get through Act 1. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Act 2 and 3, I really enjoyed. It has a relatively low average rating, which surprises me. I mean, 3.6 isn't that bad. But I've heard a lot of people not like this, which surprises me. I really enjoyed it. I have the Fairy Loot edition of this, by the way, which is beautiful. If I can ever figure out like a hand cam setup, I'd love to show some of you guys like my fancy special editions and stuff, because I'm building up a really nice physical book collection. So if you're guys interested in that, I'd really like to show you it someday. I just don't know how I would do a hand cam setup. But maybe. It'd be cool because I have a lot of fancy books and I want to show them off. We could do like unboxings. Oh my god. But yeah, I like this book a lot. I want to say it's going to be a duology. Yeah, it's going to be it has a title already. I did not know that. Probably coming out next year. I don't think there's any details on it yet. The thing is with books that they take a very long time to come out because, you know, writing them is a very intricate and detailed process. But I'm excited. Oh god, why do I keep feeling like I'm gonna sneeze? One sec. Okay. I'm gonna have a quick drink because I'm yapping. All right. But yeah, this one, I feel like this might be another one where maybe it's not for everyone. I mean, you know, a lot of people did say they didn't like it, but I feel like if maybe this is one that I mean when I'm talking about like rating it slightly higher, just because I really enjoyed it. I just really like the vibes. I think it's really good. I recommend checking it out if it feels like your kind of thing. I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Haha, funny because the book has tea in the title. But yeah, I really liked it. I am definitely going to read the second one. I'm looking forward to it. I really like the characters. And yeah, it's a solid one. It's a good one. I don't know if it will always stay in my favorites or if it's like a recency bias thing, but we'll see. We'll give it the test of time. Oh my god, I've been going for an hour? That's crazy. I really am a good yapper, aren't I? Give me a sec. There we go. So here's what we're gonna do I was worried that I was gonna run out of segments and have to just have it either be really short or just like improvise. But actually, I've got one segment left and it's easily going to be the longest. So I think we're good. Oh my god, I really am good at yapping. So I'm going to talk about now my 2024 reading challenge. For those who don't know, on Goodreads and Storygraph as well, and probably most websites you can use to like track books, you can do like a reading challenge where you set an amount of books you're going to read in the year. And then it will tell you like, oh, you're so-and-so books behind, you're so-and-so books ahead, you're on schedule, that kind of thing. Do I have a thing? Oh yeah, I have a thing here of all of them. So 2022 was when I first started using Goodreads, like properly. My goal was 10. I forgot that you could track like manga and stuff as well. So I ended up reading 23, including those. So it was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I kept that in mind for the next year and raised it a little bit and made it 25. And I was like, okay, that, you know, I want to move them up a little bit, but I don't want to put too much pressure on myself because, you know, I read for fun at the end of the day. I'm not going to be sweaty about a challenge that I've made up for myself. So it was 25. And I hit exactly 25 and I was like, hell yeah. Because I think, if I remember correctly, I had quite a big reading slump for a big chunk of last year. I think it was just because of like general burnout. and other stuff. But I still managed to do it, so it's all good. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to move it up a little bit again for this year. So I made it 30 because I'm like, okay, I've been reading a lot. And if I get to the end of the year and I'm slightly behind, I'll just read a bunch of manga volumes and catch up, right? I'm currently on 46 books. You can tell I've really gotten into it. I'm on 153% of my reading goal, and I'm 31 books ahead of schedule. I read 46 books. Again, this does include manga, and I've read quite a lot of manga this year. I mean, I'll go through all of the stuff that I've read, but I pretty much binge read Oshinoko, and that massively boosted this. So don't think that I'm just like insane. I mean, you probably think that anyway, but you know what I mean. So what we're gonna do, I think, is go through what I have read so far. Maybe not, I might not go into each book individually, because there might be some where I just don't really have anything to say about it. But we'll do a little overview of some of them. Like, look at all this Oshinoko. Look, there's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 of the 46 is just me reading Oshinoko. So, you know, it's quite a lot. Although I thought the majority of it would be manga. And actually I looked recently and it's like half, just over half. So not bad. All right, so we're going to go through, get my thoughts on some of them. Based on how I've been yapping before, hopefully we might actually hit the 2-hour mark once I've done this. Let's go. We'll see. There's a mix of things here in terms of like digital and audio and stuff. Actually, hang on. Wait, will you guys see like my new tab page? Oh God, don't look at all those random news stories, okay? Can I look at my Goodreads? Not Goodreads, Storygraph. There you go. Yeah, because Storygraph I love because you get pie charts and stats and stuff. Yeah, oh, I want to get the art book so bad, but I've only seen it at cons for like ridiculous prices. I want to import it at some point because the artwork, the art. One thing I will say about Oshinoko is the art style, gorgeous. I love it so much. So in terms of my stats, we'll do like a quick overview. There's all these moods that you can have on Storygraph. Pace. These are all things that are like user submitted, so they might not be 100% accurate. Page number. I have mostly read books that are under 300 pages. I am not a long book girly, okay? If I read something that's really long, I have to be invested, you know? It's just not enough to... I see some books that are really long and I'm like, is it really that deep? Is it really that serious? Do you have that much to say? Anyway. All of the audiobooks have been 8 hours or under. I've only listened to 4 audiobooks, although Iron Flame is longer than that. So when I finish that, that will change this pie chart. Mostly fiction, but there is a little bit of non-fiction in there as well. Mostly manga. A lot of romance, weirdly. I think that's because of all the Oshinoko. Fantasy, mystery, queer books, young adult, horror, and then just like random one-offs and stuff. Format, this is the one I wanted. Primarily digital, which I never thought. I used to be a Kindle hater, I cannot lie. Back when they were first a thing, I didn't understand it. 30% print, 9% audio. Definitely, I listened to a lot of audiobooks last year. In fact, let me get last year's up. Yeah, I listened to like, because I didn't have ebooks at the time. Like a quarter of my reading was audiobooks. And I only got into audiobooks like at the end of last year, I think. So that is pretty wild. Anyway. Basically, variety of formats here. Hi Matthew, welcome in. Welcome in. I'm going to go through this. And like I said, I might not go into detail about every single thing. But I'm going to just do a little overview, maybe talk about some favourites of the year so far, some ones I didn't really like as much, and some that maybe surprised me. So the very first book that I read was, I will open tabs for ones that I'm going to talk about in more detail. For ones I'm just going to quickly go over, I'll just do it like this. I wish you could like hover over and it would show like info. That'd be a lot easier. But the first book I read was God Killer by Hannah Kaner, I think is how you say it. This is a fantasy. I think it's a debut. Oh, sorry. And it's queer. It has disability rep in it as well. The cover, look at that. It's pretty. It's very pretty. There's some very pretty editions of it as well. It's about a world where like gods are like physical beings that exist in the world, you know. And they're kind of born from, you know, people's emotions and stuff. They're kind of like manifested, and that kind of thing. So like if you kill a god, if enough people still kind of believe in the god or like what they stand for or whatever, then they eventually are like reborn again and that kind of thing. And the main character is someone who kills gods. God killer, whoa. And there's this whole thing of like she finds this young girl who's like tied to a god somehow. And like she can't kill the god because then it will kill the kid or something. And it's about trying to figure out what it's all about. They're like going on a big quest and it's a whole thing. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background as well. If I was to compare this to something, I would say in terms of the vibes it brings as a fantasy, because a lot of fantasy things are very different. I would compare it maybe to The Witcher. When I read it, I definitely had some Witcher vibes, for sure. I think if you like The Witcher, you would probably like this. I wouldn't say it's exactly the same, but I feel like there are definitely some similarities. And the second book came out. This came out last year. The second book came out early this year, I want to say, like February-ish. I read a little bit of it and then I stopped. I don't know if it's because I couldn't get into it or for like external reasons or whatever. I need to get back to it though, because I would really like to read it. Again, I don't know if it's a duology or a trilogy. I think maybe it's a duology. I don't know. It doesn't tell me either way. But there is a second one. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I gave it 4 stars here, as you can see. Storygraph, though, does a more specific rating system. Because you can do like half stars, quarter stars, 3/4 stars. So let me see if I can find what I rated it more specifically. Here? Is this in order? Yes. Let's have a... Actually, you know what? I should do it this way. I think I should use Storygraph for this because you can actually see like the names and stuff a bit better. Let's do that. I got to scroll all the way to the bottom. Yeah, I gave it a 4.5 on Storygraph. Yeah, I feel like it was really good. I feel like I'm trying to be a bit more picky with what I give 5 stars. Pretty much I only give something 5 stars if I'm like obsessed with it. And I like this one a lot, but I wasn't obsessed with it, you know? I think it's a solid fantasy. Can't speak for the sequel because I haven't read it. So I would recommend this one, I would say, at least based on the first book. If and when I read and finish the second one, I have to update you. This book is called What I Want to Talk About by Pete Warby. I've been reading a lot of books about autism and being autistic because it just helps me understand myself a bit more. This one specifically is told like through the lens of special interests and, you know, things that we can get really engaged with and what that means for an autistic person and that kind of thing. I listened to it as an audiobook. It's a fairly short one. Not one I'm going to delve into a lot, but I gave it a 4.75. I thought it was really good and really educational. I feel like I learned a lot. Yeah, this is one that I don't really have a lot to say in detail. You know, yeah, I really like this one. I believe he's written another book. Yeah, Untypical. I haven't read this one, but this one has been doing really well. So I need to read that at some point. I think I got it on my Kindle. Yeah, I have some other books, you know, about similar topics that maybe I read the year before that are great. I'll definitely do like a list of recommendations or something, I'll say. I'll do that at some point. Like I said, I've been reading, yeah, exactly, Cod. Like, that is the case for everyone, of course, but I think that is especially the case for autistic people as well. Because, like, our interests can be very intense. I mean, you all know what I'm like. I cannot like anything in a normal amount. You all know what I'm like. And, you know, for a long time, I think maybe we're kind of taught almost to a subconscious level that, you know, it's a bit cringy or, you know, you shouldn't be so obsessed with these things. And, you know, I feel like I've learned to embrace it a lot more in the past couple of years. And, yeah, exactly. It's something I've learned to embrace because even like before I got diagnosed, a lot of my friends said to me that they really love like how passionate I get about stuff. And I was like, yeah, this is a good thing, actually. I'm going to justify being insane. Yep. Being crazy has got nothing to do with me being autistic. I am just crazy. All right. But yeah, definitely very interesting topic. Very good book about being autistic that kind of narrows it down into a more specific topic. Exactly, Cod. Exactly. We all need a bit of passion. We need a bit of enthusiasm. All right. Yeah. As long as your special interest is not like committing crimes. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's bad. But apart from that, if it's not hurting anyone, enjoy your life. Enjoy your things. Everyone has their things, you know. And I love that it's so different for everyone as well. It's not like all the stereotypical ones that are like trains and all that kind of stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you like trains, that is absolutely fine. Trains are pretty cool. You know, everyone has such a big range of interests. Like, you'll meet people that just know so much about this one specific thing that you just know nothing about. And it's so fascinating, like, learning from people that are really into the topic, you know? Definitely. Percy Jackson. I've been reading them. I've been reading them for the first time at the start of the year. Oh, it was earlier than I thought. It was only in January. Oh, wow. I really haven't read it for a while. Yeah, those are good ones to have. I like that. Percy Jackson. It's good. Second one, I enjoyed it. You sometimes worry with the second book in a series that it's not going to be as good. But I liked it. I thought it was good. Look forward to reading more. I already talked about Percy Jackson earlier, so there's not really any more I can add. No worries, K9. Thank you. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself. So, I already talked about Percy Jackson. I think maybe once I finish the current physical book I'm on, maybe I'll read the third one. I want to get through them. I love them. They're really fun. And they're not that long as well, which is nice. This is one of the romantasy books I've been trying. A Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova. I read this when I just got my Kindle because I had a Kindle Unlimited trial. And it was on there, so I didn't actually have to buy it. And I was like, you know what? I saw this one at the place I used to work at. And it sounded kind of interesting. I'll give it a go. I gave it a 3.75. As you can see there, which is a pretty solid score, I would say. That's fairly solid. I feel like a lot of the things that brought it down in terms of the rating is just that the romance elements and all of that just wasn't for me. I feel like I'm not the audience for it. and that's fine. I think there are definitely a lot of people that like, you know, more romance-leaning fantasy that would enjoy this a lot more than me. I think it was very solid in terms of the writing and the plot and stuff. I liked the characters. They didn't make me angry, which is a good plus, because that's not always a guarantee with books like this. Yeah, I would say it's pretty good. This author has quite a lot of different like fantasy romance ones. There's like, actually, here we go. Married to Magic. Let's see. There's like one about like a vampire. Oh yeah, Fey Prince, Vampire Lord. Ooh. Siren Duke. Oh my god, look at that. Do you see that cover? Oh my god. Wolf Knight. Is that like the latest one? Interesting. What? Do you see this? The Siren one is 556 pages. What do you need? Why do you need that many pages for a book like that? I don't know. Listen. What? That's wild. But yeah, there's quite a few. I'm not gonna read all of these because I'm not really that bothered. But yeah, you know, it's a solid book, this one. I thought it was pretty good. Oh, Ed Gamble's autobiography. I listened to this as an audiobook. I really like listening to autobiographies as audiobooks, by the way, because it's typically the person that wrote it, or if it's about like reading it. So it's really cool to, you know, hear that. Also, the audiobook of this had like some extra content. I really like Ed Gamble. I'd say he's one of my fave comedians. I gave this a 3.5. I feel like it just, like, in terms of autobiographies, I've read ones that are more interesting than this, you know? Not to say that it was like boring or whatever. It was fine. I just feel like, I don't know, I could have been more engaged with it than I was. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I do appreciate having little extras, for sure. And yeah, audiobooks. I love listening to autobiographies. It's great. So yeah, this one's pretty solid. Again, it wasn't very long. Yeah, it's like 7 hours, so it took me like, I don't know, like 2 days to listen to, maybe. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's like, oh no, I have listened to one. I'll talk about it later. But like the fully like dramatized audiobooks. Oh yeah. Those are good. I listened to one for the first time this year, and we'll get onto that in a minute. Oh, a bunch of manga. If there are other volumes of these later on, I probably won't talk about them, because it's just my thoughts of this. Unless there's something about the volume that drastically has changed my thoughts on the series. You know, it's not going to happen. So the first one here is Magie Lumiere. It is a magical girl thing. It's kind of Hero Academia like, in the sense that it's like magical girls in the context of the real world, where they're like under companies and stuff like that. It's not like super young though, like Hero Academia is, or like all the characters are adults. And it's all like technology based. Like, I don't think they actually have magic. It's all like sciencey machine stuff. Yeah. See, listen, some of you guys will have read the manga that I've been reading, and this is great. I've read 2 volumes, I believe, because it only came out in English fairly recently. I really enjoyed this one. I've been intrigued by it for a while, so I was excited for it to come out in English. If I remember correctly, I think it's getting an anime. Yeah, I really like this one a lot. I will definitely, I don't know if I'll read more, because I feel like to read a manga for a long time, I have to really like it. I might just watch the anime. I don't know. I'm undecided. I don't know. We'll see. But English volumes take a while to come out, so I have time. But I really like this one. Very kind of light-hearted. Very funny as well at times. Very unique. I like this one a lot. Very solid. I gave it a 4.75 here, as you can see, if it's not too small. I really like this one. I'd recommend it. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I like the art style as well. More manga. We have Tamon's B-side. This is one that I got a free copy of to review, which is nice. Actually, Magie Lumiere, I had that as well. This is about idols. This is about an idol. And it's like a show. Is it shoujo? I don't know if it is shoujo, but it's more like a romance-y, contemporary kind of thing. It's about this girl who is like a housekeeper. She cleans people's houses and apartments and stuff. She is big otaku. Big. She loves this idol group. This guy, Tamon, is her oshi. Loves him to bits. And then one day, she gets a house cleaning, keeping job, and it's for him. But actually, he's like this flirty, pretty boy when he's, you know, in his idol group. But in real life, he's actually really shy and depressed. And it's, you know, this kind of contrast between his idol persona and what he's actually like. And, you know, she realizes that and is like, oh my God, this is wild. But it's like, you know, she really loves this guy. It's her oshi. So she's like super dedicated to helping him. And, you know, making sure that he stays healthy. And it's very sweet. I've read 3 volumes of this, I believe. I also think this one's getting an anime. Very fun. If you like the kind of romancy, I mean, there's kind of romance elements in it so far. Yeah, if you like shoujo, I think you would like this. It's very fun. If you like idols like me, it's a very fun time. It is a very fun time. I'm gonna have a quick drink real quick. I can't believe I was worried about not being able to talk for long enough. I still have so many books to talk about. It's fine. I think a lot of them will be relatively quick. Next one, another book about neurodivergent stuff. This one is called Unmasked by Ellie Middleton. I think this one's really good as well. I gave it a 5-star. It talks about autism. It also talks about ADHD. And it also talks about being neurodivergent, like in general. It has a lot of like educational stuff, a lot of guides. It's been a while since I read this, so I might not remember everything. One thing I've really loved about it is it's written in a way that's like, it's so easy to read, because a lot of books like this get really detailed and are like really scientific and like academic, and it feels very daunting. All of the chapters are like clear in what they're about, so you can like pick and choose if there's like a specific topic you want, and each one kind of has an outline at the start on what the chapter is going to be about, and then has like a summary at the end as well. And there's a lot of things that are like divided into bullet points or little paragraphs and boxes and stuff. It's laid out so well and is so approachable. There's some really useful stuff in it. I think this is one I would definitely recommend both to people that are neurodivergent and are like experiencing these things, and also to people that just want to learn more about it. I think it's also very educational for people that don't know a lot. Yeah, exactly. It makes it super accessible for people that have ADHD. I want to say it's also written to be dyslexia friendly, but I could be making that up. But yeah, very approachable, not dense in the slightest. I like this one a lot. If I remember correctly, I think she's writing another book. It's not on here, but it might be on Goodreads, but I won't now. She's writing a second one, I think. I forget specifically what it's about, but yeah, I really like this one. This is a solid one. Another audiobook. Strong Female Character by Fern Brady. Fern Brady is another comedian that I like a lot. And there's 2 autism books in a row, because she's also autistic and talks a lot about that experience because she was late diagnosed. Talks a lot about that and like how it affected her childhood and that kind of thing. I love this. It is very funny. Deals with some heavy stuff, so check content warnings and everything. Yeah, she was great on Taskmaster, right? That's how I found out about her initially. So good. So good. She's very funny. It's when I say it talks about heavy stuff, she does it very much in like a dark humor style, especially in the audiobook, the way she delivers some of the things. It's so funny. I love it. I really love it. This one is just a very solid, entertaining autobiography, and I'd recommend it. It's great. I love Fern Brady. She's great. Can't wait to see what she does next, you know? I thought she was great on Taskmaster. So good. So good. All right, here's the Oshinoko binge. I must have read volumes 1 to 4 last year, but I read up to volume 5, like physically, as the English volumes are coming out. And then I was like, you know what? I want to read more. And I read like a ton. And like the volumes of these aren't even out yet. So it's just listed as like the digital chapters. I don't really have a lot to say about Oshinoko. I mean, it's pretty good. Again, I like idols, so that's partially why I read it. I'm a very casual enjoyer. I understand why a lot of people don't like it. I like it. I read up to what was available at the time. I haven't really gone back to it since, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm bothered enough to do it. I think I might just watch the anime, because I liked this. I don't know if I liked it that much. I'm undecided. But yeah, pretty good. I'd say I'd probably recommend it. Yeah. It's all right. Very popular. It's a very popular series. And yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about it. I don't really remember a lot, to be honest. But I read like all of this in like the span of 2 days. So I pretty much just blacked out and read it all, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing. So we move on from those into these 2 books that are part of the same series. We have Guild and Glint by Raven Kennedy. The whole series is called The Plated Prisoner. There's like a bajillion books in this series. There's like 6. I think hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the 6th book is like about to come out, I think, at some point. This is another fantasy romance thing, and I tried it out because it was on the 99p Kindle deals, and I thought it sounded interesting. And it is interesting. I gave it 3.75, which again is like solid. You know, I like this. I thought it was pretty good. Kind of rating. Do you know what I mean? It's all right. It's kind of like a retelling of King Midas, and it has like fae stuff and a lot of like politics as well, and like the world building and everything. Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought I was going to burp then. Ugh. I know. My confusion about this series is that a lot of them, I get confused as to which book is which because they all sound so similar. You have Guild, Glint, Gleam, Glow, Gold, and then Goldfinch. It's so confusing. I do get them mixed up sometimes, I cannot lie. Yeah, I want the Kindle 99p deal. Not Amazon, just Kindle 99p deal specifically to sponsor me. I like a 99p deal, you know? It's given me the chance to try a lot of things that maybe I wouldn't have tried otherwise. What worries me about this series, have I only read 2 or have I read the 3rd one? I haven't read the 3rd one yet. What worries me about it is, does it need to be 6 books? Like, well, hang on, Glow is 700 pages. Gold is nearly 700. These next 3 are all like 700 pages each. I liked these 2. There is not that much going on to justify this. I'm kind of scared to read the rest now, I can't lie. I definitely have the 3rd one because that was on like a 99p thing. I don't think I have Glow yet. I could be wrong. 700 pages each. Oh God, I can't do it. Oh God, I don't know. It's very daunting. Yeah, it's a fairly solid romantasy thing. Definitely don't think it's for everyone. Also, this is probably another one to check the content warnings for. It's all right. Again, you know, going to McDonald's and everything. Is my McDonald's analogy also applies to these. I just enjoy them very casually. And yeah, they're all right. They're pretty good. They're all right. I don't know. I'm kind of scared to read the rest of them. Because they're that long. Why? Right. Let's carry on. Keedy by Elle McNichol. This is a prequel to a book called A Kind of Spark that I really enjoyed. It's also like a TV series now, I think. These are middle grade books. They're written for children. They're written for like in, you know, the place that I worked at. It was like 9 to 12. It's like that kind of age. But I read them because I heard that they're really good autistic representation and very fun. A Kind of Spark came out a few years ago and I read it last year. Keedy, the prequel, came out this year. Very short. It's like 200 pages. I read this. I don't think I read it in a day. I think I read it over 2 days, maybe. I really love these. I think they're books that... hang on. I'm talking about them both, so let's get them both up. I really love these. They're the kind of book... Because, you know, I like to read middle grade sometimes. Just to, you know, as like a lighter read. You know, it's kind of how I feel about Percy Jackson. I really enjoyed these. Hi, Elliot. Hello. I really enjoyed these. Sometimes when you read or like watch things that are like intended for a younger audience, do you ever have that thing where like you wish that that kind of thing existed when you were younger? Like you look at it and you go, man, I would have loved that as a kid, you know? These would have helped me so much. Because I think it explains being autistic in a really good way for like younger kids to understand, especially from the perspective of like teenage girls as well. I really love these. I haven't watched the TV show yet, but I want to. Yeah, it was just something that just like, I don't know. It reminded me how important representation is. And I mean, I know that it is, of course. But it just really kind of reinforced that. Yeah, updated YouTube's weird. It is weird, isn't it? Anyway, hello. Welcome in. So yeah, those are really good. I'm going to go over some of these really quickly. Full Moon. This was the first manga I ever read. It was one of 2 manga series that were in my high school's library. The other one was Death Note, in case you're curious. Full Moon. Love a bit of shoujo sometimes. Love Arina Tanemura, one of my favourite manga artists. I recently, because I didn't own them because I read them from the library, I have been trying to find them as like a whole set for ages. I don't know if they're out of print, but they're like very hard to find. I managed to find them finally for a price I was willing to pay. So I started rereading them. And I've only read the first volume so far. There's 7 volumes, I think. Loving it, obviously. I'm a bit scared that it's not as good as I remember, which has put me off reading more. I can't lie. I'm scared. I'm scared that I don't actually, like, oh, I don't know. Mayusaka, that sounds familiar. Hang on, I'm gonna have a look. Yeah, my first anime. Well, my first 2 anime were obviously Pokemon and Tokyo Mew Mew. And then my first manga was Full Moon, but then also Death Note. I recognise this art style. What has she made? I recognise this art style. Hang on, I need to find out now. I keep going on like weird tangents. Who is the artist of this? Ah, yeah. Okay. I recognize this vaguely. Yeah. I'll come back to that. Yeah, I love Arina Tanemura. She's like a shoujo legend. Love the massive eyes she draws. Yeah, Full Moon's great. Again, I'm scared to read more in case it's not as good as I remember. But we'll come to that another day. All right. I am. How many more of these? Okay, I'm up to May, so surely we don't have that many more, so it's fine. Wait, is there? There's not a second one to this. Oh no, there's like a prequel. Oh, okay. Wilder Girls by Rory Power. This I read right after my Yellow Jackets hyperfixation. I watched both seasons of Yellow Jackets, loved it to bits. By the way, if you have not watched Yellow Jackets, watch it. Oh my god. And I finished it and I was like, oh my god, there's not gonna be another season of this for like a year. I need to find books that have vibes, like similar vibes to Yellow Jackets. And so I did loads of research, and this was the one that kind of felt closest to me. And also was one I'd seen before and looked quite interesting. I love the cover. The cover is beautiful. Yeah, this is one about, God, how do I even describe this one? It's kind of like, it's about these girls at like this all-girls school. I think it's an all-girls school that live like, it's like a boarding school on like this random island. Fangy! Oh shit! I'm gonna come back to talking about this later. Also, I just talked about the other day about my raid noise not playing for me. It played for me that time. Fangy! Thank you so much for the raid! Let's go! Hello everyone. If you do not know me, I'm Moog. I am an ice cream alien VTuber, and right now we are doing the very first episode of my little book podcast. We're just chatting about books, to be honest. But yeah, what you were doing? Paper Mario? Is that right? Yes, it literally says right there it was Paper Mario. I can read, okay? Fangy, you are a lovely human. Everyone, you better follow Fangy right now. You better give her some love, because she is wonderful. Thank you so much for the raise. I love you. I love you. If you need to do post-stream, yeah, I know. Listen, shh, I'm trying to keep the secret. If you have not followed Fangy, do so. Anyway, if you need to do some post-stream self-care, absolutely do so. You know, streaming takes it out of you. You got feel free to lurk and like listen to me yap, all right? Because we're here and we're doing it. Yeah, this is very lurk friendly, so feel free to relax. Yes. Also, hello, welcome everyone that has come in. Tori! Hydrate. I'll hydrate right now. I have a comfy yappy. 2 hydrates. 3 hydrate. Oh shit, I'm gonna die. Tori! Tori, why do you do this to me? I'm gonna time you out. I swear to God. Oh my God. Let's wait for her to calm down, shall we? Tori. Oh my God, Tori, stop. Oh my God. I want to see how long she keeps this up for. Oh my God. Tori. What I was going to say, I'll carry on my tangent. She can use all her points, it's fine. Oh no, there we go, there's another one. What I will carry on saying, I'll turn off the hydrate in a minute. What the fuck, Tori? Oh no. For those of you that are new here, feel free, you know, if you like what you see, if you like a bit of silliness, I do stream a lot of horror games as well and various other things. Feel free to follow if you like. I do not call out specific followers, so people can lurk. Oh, there's another one. So, you know, you're welcome to do that, but you do not have to. Also, hang on, let me, there we go. Right, I am turning this off now, Tori. I'm putting it on a cooldown. How do I do that? What the fuck? Wait, she stopped? Has she stopped? Has she ran out of points? How many points do you have, Tori? Jesus. Hang on. I can't, oh my God, I can't find the button. Oh, shit. Sorry. I'm literally gonna drown because of you, Tori. I hope you're proud of yourself. Oh, cool down. What do you reckon? cool down. A minute? I don't know. Right, let's go back. Like, you've caused 6 streamers to put a cooldown. Why am I not surprised? Like, said a nice round number. That's honestly fair. Like, same. Selena, hi. Right, let me count. I can't do this amount of hydrates, but I will count them just out of curiosity. Let's have a look. I will go back to the books in a minute. I promise, gang. I can't speak. You've murdered me. Okay, you did 29. Hang on, I need to verify this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. There is 29. If I take like really tiny sips. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take 29 very small sips. Okay. And you're not going to see them. You're just going to have to take my word for it. But I am doing them, don't worry. Right, here we go. I'll be silent for a bit while I do this. Oh, I've done 10. Yeah, I put it on a 1 minute cooldown, lol. Drink for 30 seconds, I would die. I would either die or I'd piss myself, and I don't know which one's worse. Right, I've done 20. There we go. I hope you're pleased with yourself, Tori. Oh dear. Oh, I was due some drinking anyway, because I've been yapping a lot. It was a nice little break between all the books. So what I'm doing right now, by the way, for anyone that's just come in, I am talking about a lot of the books that I have read so far this year and my overall thoughts on them. Some I'll go into in quite some detail. Some I'll just go over. You know what, Mr. Kashi? That is true. You've got a good point. Yeah. Anyway, here we go. Apologies, everyone. That was a bit of a wild thing, but I do really appreciate the raid. So yeah, welcome in, everyone. I hope I've left a good first impression with that. Listen, I just did 29 hydrate redeems. I am an alien of my word, okay? So I was talking about Wilder Girls, wasn't I? Yeah, so they're like on like a boarding school thing on this remote island, right? And it's kind of like, it's almost like Annihilation, where it's like this, they all have like this weird virus that like is like connected to nature and stuff, and it like messes up their bodies in really weird ways, and they're like all like quarantined on this island, right? Because, you know, they're not getting the fuck out. Nobody knows what this virus is. And then one of the main characters, like besties, goes missing, and there's this whole thing of her getting like experimented on and stuff. This is not a spoiler, by the way. It's literally like in the setup of the book. And it's really, I like this one. I feel like, I gave it a 3.75. I feel like the reason I rated it lower than I was going to is I feel like I had mixed feelings on the ending. I think that's what it was. I have only just recently started like writing my thoughts on books as well. And I wish I'd done it sooner because my memory is bad. I think it's the kind of book that I would have liked a second one, or even like a short kind of novella or something, just like going into it in more detail. There are so many things that are kind of left up to interpretation, but I'm like, but I want to know more. You know what I mean? That's just the vibe, you know? I don't know. But it's pretty good. Yeah, it's got good queer rep and stuff, horror elements, kind of mystery elements. It's fun. It's a good time. Very pretty cover, like I said. Very gorgeous. Really gorgeous. So yeah, I'd say it's a solid recommend. Like I said, if I rate something a 3.75, my kind of thoughts on it overall are, that's pretty good. You know, it's pretty good. So yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. Sorry. I'm talking a lot. I'm going to die. Oh yeah, no worries, Ines. No worries. This will be up on YouTube, by the way, for anyone that wants to like catch up on things I've missed. So it's all good. I appreciate you. 1984. I was talking earlier about audiobooks, and we were talking about like dramatized audiobooks where they have like a full cast and, you know, music and stuff. I listened to this. It is an Audible only new like dramatized edition of 1984. You know, the George Orwell one by that geezer. It's got Andrew Garfield in it, which I cannot lie is the main reason I listened to it. This, if you're in the UK, you might have seen this. When this came out, it was advertised everywhere. I saw it at bus stops, I saw it at the train station, I saw it on TV. I haven't read 1984, like the actual physical book. So most audiobooks are kind of just reading through the book, whereas this is different in the sense that it's pretty much like if it was a TV show, but like as a book. And it's only 3.5 hours. It's not very long. It is, yeah, no, I get that. I imagine, I've always been interested in reading it, but yeah, I kind of felt it would be like that. So this is a really nice, accessible way to get into it. It's not very long. It was really immersive. A lot of the time I listen to audiobooks in bed when it's like dark in my room and stuff, so I really like focus on it. Super immersive. What else do I have to say? I think it was a really good way. Yeah, absolutely food for thought. Absolutely. It's a book that continues to be relevant. It's really interesting how they took like a classic book and did this version with like a bunch of famous people. I definitely saw a lot of people on like TikTok talking about this. So I feel like it's quite an interesting way to get young people potentially interested in classic books, you know? So I thought it was really good. Yeah, it was good. I do like Andrew Garfield. He is one of my fave actors, and I thought he was really good in it. So yeah, it was the first time I'd listened to a dramatized audiobook. I don't know. Maybe I'd do it again. I don't know. But yeah, I liked it. If you are a person that has Audible, you know, maybe they'll sponsor me someday. I'd recommend checking this one out. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not very long. 10% of Tea we talked about earlier, so I will skip through that one, but TLDR, really liked it. You should read it. Oh yeah, I had a bit of a Nagata Gabi rediscovery. Did I read more of her this year, or did I just read this one? I can't remember. Anyway, I've read this before. This was a reread. This is great. Read everything by this author. Nagata Kabi has like a bajillion books now. Look at all these. I love the art style. I love how they all kind of match really nicely with like the simple coloring. Yeah. Deals with heavy topics. But so good. I love this. Very good. Very solid. It's a very popular queer manga, so if you're into that kind of thing, you probably know about it already, but yeah, it's good. Yeah, Hippo, they're good. I haven't read all of them, but the ones I have read are very good. All right, more books. Wise Creatures by Deirdre Sullivan. This was a 99p Kindle book that I bought and read. It's like a horror, young adult horror thing. It was all right. Yeah, that's kind of it. It was all right. It was kind of, I didn't really get it, I feel. I don't know. It was all right. I gave it a 3.25, so it's not like it was bad. I was kind of just indifferent towards it, you know? I don't know. It was all right. I don't really have a lot to say about it. It's like a typical kind of ghost story thing. And yeah, it was all right. Anyway. In the Shallows by Tanya Byrne. I gave this a 3.5. It is a young adult queer romance mystery thing. I normally wouldn't get a book like this, but this was another one I got a digital review copy of. And yeah, again, I thought it was okay. I don't know. I had mixed feelings towards the relationship in it and how it was written. The ending also mixed feelings, but it was all right. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Do I read sci-fi books as much? I've read a little bit of sci-fi, but definitely not as much as I want to. I want to delve into it a bit more, for sure. I definitely lean more towards fantasy. I would like to read some more sci-fi. So that should be another, like, whenever I get into like doing themed episodes, that should be definitely another one. We should do a sci-fi one, because guess what I got on the 99p Kindle deals one day? One day I went on there on like the daily ones and they had all of June, all of the books in June for 99p each, and I bought them all. I didn't really have that much interest in reading it, but I was like, you know what? They're 99p. I'm just going to get them. So, you know, maybe that's one I could try. Maybe I'll try June. Yeah. We'll give it a go. The first one's really long. And it's a bit scary, but, you know, just to try something different. Obviously, they're very popular, famous books. I watched the film. I watched the first film when it came out, I think. When it came out on digital. I cannot lie, I don't remember a lot, but I remember liking it. But yeah, I do need to delve a bit more into sci-fi. I think that's something I'd like to do more in the future. So if you guys have any that you like and you'd like to recommend, feel free to do so. Again, I have a book related text channel in my Discord. So that's probably a good place to do it. But you know, you don't have to join the Discord, but if you want to, if you do !Discord, the link is in there. Yippee! All right, more manga. Oh my God. As you can see, I read 3 of these in a row. In fact, I read all 3 of these on the same day. The dates are here. Summer Hikari died. I love this. I love this. I love this. This is such a me series. It is my vibes. I love this. I love this. I feel like this is getting an anime as well. I don't know. I love this. Read this. I've been catching up with like the English physical releases. I might have to start reading it online. I don't know. Because the 4th volume's not out until like August. Although that is only next month, to be fair. Oh my God, that's scary. I love this. I love it. Because I love horror, obviously. I really like psychological stuff. And this has a lot of body horror in it as well, which is quite interesting. Very unique premise. But I also really love like a specific kind of anime manga genre that I realise I really enjoy is like messed up things happening in like a small town. And obviously the OG for that is Higurashi. Higurashi, you know, you get a bunch of messed up stuff happening. This reminded me a lot of Higurashi in some ways. Also like Akunohana. I really love Akunohana. That's not really like, you know, this and Higurashi are more like supernatural compared to that. But again, messed up things happening in a small town. I just really like it. What can I say? But yeah, this, I feel like this is the type of story that the less you know going into it, the better. Do you know what I mean? These are so good. Read them. I mean, maybe check like content warnings because it does kind of get messed up, and you know, I understand that that's not for everyone. But if it is for you, read them. Read them right now. I love this. I love this. Also, look how pretty the covers are. I really like them. I really like the colours. It's got the vibes in this, right, are immaculate. The vibes are so good. And sometimes that's all you need. I don't know why I gave volume 1 4.75. I don't remember that. Anyway. Oh, I read the Twisted Wonderland manga. I did. I forgot that I'd read that. Yeah, it was pretty good. I like a bit of Twisted Wonderland. I knew the story already because I had played the mobile game, but it was my first time experiencing the story in English. The localization in Twisted Wonderland, a bit iffy at times, especially in the mobile game. I felt like it wasn't as bad in the manga. I don't know. But yeah, love Twisted Wonderland. If you like series with cute anime boys, this is the one. I love it. I love it. I'll probably talk about Twisted Wonderland at some other point. I really do like it, and I bring it up a lot. Dungeon Meshi. Oh my god. Have you guys heard of this like little known series called Dungeon Meshi? It has blown up. It has absolutely blown up. Even friends of mine that just like fantasy stuff and do not interact with anime and manga at all are getting into Dungeon Meshi. It's crazy. I wanted to read it before I watched the anime, which is weird because the anime is done by Trigger. And I love Trigger. I'm very normal about some of their works. Don't talk to me about Proma. Do not. I will not stop talking about Proma. But yeah, I wanted to read it first. The art style, by the way, in the manga is gorgeous. Yeah, the physical copies have been so hard to find for ages because they keep selling out and they have to reprint them because everyone wants them. So I have the first 5 now. I've managed to accumulate because I wanted to accumulate a few before I like proper binged it. And like the manga's finished, which I did not know. And I need to, I don't know, by the way, if anyone has read it and also watched the anime, if you could let me know like how many volumes the anime covers, that could be very useful. Because I would like to read up to that and then maybe watch it. It's great. I probably don't need to talk too much about Dungeon Meshi because you all know it. But yeah, very fun fantasy series. One definitely that I can see in the future being like a good recommendation for someone that's just getting into anime or manga. I can see that. Oh god, really? Yeah, I can imagine that really sucking. Glad you got it in the end though. Yeah, it's great. I can see it being like a really big one that kind of stands the test of time. So yeah, if you've been living under a rock and you haven't checked it out, do so. I'm not going to get into it too much because again, you guys have probably read it already. Crane Among Wolves. This is another one I got a review copy of. It is another young adult fantasy. I can't remember why I gave it 3.75. To be honest, I don't remember a lot about it. Which is not to say that it's bad. I remember liking it. I think, actually, I specifically remember not liking the ending. Or not necessarily not liking the ending, but not liking how they presented the ending. Which I think brought the rating down a fair amount. Other than that, it's like a nice little, it has some mystery aspects actually. I think it's based on Korean history, is that right? Yeah, based on a true story from Korean history. Yeah, this is a solid fantasy. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't really have much to say. Yeah, awesome taste. Thank you so much. Also, welcome in. And thank you for the follow as well. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna just have a quick drink. I have never played Final Fantasy XIV. But I know a lot of people that love it and it scares me a little bit. 7 volumes. Okay, to be fair, that was my guess. My guess was going to be like 7 or 8. So I'm glad I'm intelligent. Ooh, yeah, I haven't read much manhwa actually. So I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for the recommendation. I appreciate it. Maybe I'll make like some kind of thing where people can like submit suggestions to me so I can keep them all in one place. Maybe I'll do that. That might be useful. All right, how many more have we got? Oh, not that many. Okay, we're fine. Or was I? When Among Crows. This is by Veronica Roth, who is the author of the Divergent series. Pretty popular one back in the day. This is a novella, very short, 176 pages. I genuinely cannot remember what this is about. Step into a city where monsters feast on human emotions. Knights split their souls to make their weapons, and witches always take more than they can give. Yeah, so it's like a urban fantasy, like magic stuff hidden in the real world or whatever. I seem to remember enjoying it. I just feel like because it was so short, it was kind of hard to get invested in anything, you know? It was hard to really care about the characters because it was so short. I guess that's always the case with a novella. I don't know. I haven't really read many novellas, so hard to tell. But yeah, it sure was a book that I read. I mean, I rated it 3.5, so it must have been all right, but I literally don't remember. Anyway, more Twisted Wonderland. I read these 3. I think this finishes off the first arc, I believe. Yeah, love my boys. This is a great series. When the anime comes out in like 10 years, it's gonna be great. Because didn't they announce the anime like a year ago and then there's been no news since? I don't know. But yeah, talked about these already, so I'll move on. Thank the Lord, we are getting through these quickly. Fate Inked in Blood by Daniel L. Jensen. I can't speak. This is another fantasy romance. I got a review copy of this one. It's based on like Norse mythology. I think that's what interested me in it. Also, the cover is gorgeous. Danielle L. Jensen has written a series that I can't remember the name of. Bridge Kingdom, that's it. I haven't read Bridge Kingdom, but I know it's fairly popular. I've heard it's pretty good. I'll give it a go at some point. I read this. It was fine. I didn't really like it. I didn't really like it, but I gave it a 3.25, which means that it was all right. I just didn't really care. I only really cared about what was going on in like the last third, and the first 2 thirds just felt very slow. I don't know if it's just because it wasn't for me, possibly. But there is going to be another book in this series, and I just don't really care enough to read it. And that, a lot of the time, I kind of measure when I'm not sure about a book. I always think like, would I read the next one? And a lot of the time the answer is yes, because even if I was kind of meh on some parts, if I'm interested enough in this like story and where it's going, this I kind of just didn't care. I'm sure that there are people that love this book, and I don't necessarily think it's bad. I'm like, it was all right. Anyway. Dungeon Meshi Volume 2, we've already gone over Dungeon Meshi. Poisons We Drink. This is another young adult contemporary fantasy. This one is about like witches and stuff that live in like the modern world with humans, but they're like an oppressed group, and they're trying to get equal rights in their laws and stuff like that. And the main character is a potion brewer that brews potions. Specifically love potions. And they're like, they're like illegal. So it's like this whole like underground crime thing. And I thought it was pretty good. I like this one. This was one I got a review copy of. So, I didn't really have much investment in it. I was like, yeah, I'll give this one a go. It's a debut, I think. I love the cover, by the way. This is gorgeous. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I liked it. I am fairly sure it's a standalone. It wrapped up in a way that I think it is. But yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot. I can't think of any reason why I didn't rate it higher. I mean, there must have been one. I don't remember. But yeah, this one's good. If you like kind of modern fantasy, in that sense where it's like magical stuff in the real world, this is a fairly good one. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. Magically Meow we already talked about. Oh, we're getting pretty close. This is good. Every time you hear that song by Jenna Voris, this is kind of like a... I don't know how I explain this one. This is a kind of contemporary young adult thing about this country singer who I'm pretty sure is meant to be Dolly Parton, but isn't Dolly Parton. She passes away and she leaves behind this like treasure trail hunt thing for like, oh, I have this secret album. And you know, it's about this girl who's like a massive fan of hers trying to find this secret hidden time capsule album. And yeah, I'm not really into the contemporary stuff. But again, I got a review copy of this and I thought it was really good. I gave it a 4.25. Why did I not rate it higher? Hang on. Was this when I started writing reviews? Oh, okay. I imagine the rating would be higher if I was more of a romance reader. Right. Yeah, I'm just not really into romance, but this is good. I'd recommend this. Is it similar to Handmaid's Tale? I would say probably not. Yeah, I don't think it's that similar. I think if you like Handmaid's Tale though, you would probably like this too. I would say so. Yeah. Tamon's B-side we already talked about. Oh, there's only one left. Hell yeah. I read the first volume of Gokurakugai. I mainly read this because I saw some of the art and I thought the art style looked really cool. Let me get a bigger picture. This woman, she looks sick. Like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. This is a fun shonen. It's a relatively new shonen. I think there's only a couple volumes out. And it's always hard to get into like new shonen series because like it's so scary that they're just gonna like get cancelled out of nowhere and there's only gonna be like 2 volumes. I'm fairly sure this one is still going, which is a good sign. It kind of weirdly, it kind of reminded me of Bleach, and I don't know why, because like it's nothing like Bleach. It's nothing like Bleach, but I think about Bleach so often. I think maybe it just reminded me. This one's great. I really like this. I'm gonna read more of this at some point. It's kind of like a modern one with like supernatural elements and that kind of thing. So yeah, there's not really a lot to say. Apart from I really liked it and I'm gonna read more. Which is a bit anticlimactic for the last one, isn't it? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about like upcoming releases, wasn't I? You know what? I might have to save that for next time. I think I will. I'm going to make that a segment in the next one. Whenever that is. Yeah, honestly, I have such a big list too. Oh, but that's part of the fun, you know? It's good to have a lot to choose from. I have... I should make a command or something, but also I haven't put it in the description of the YouTube video of this yet, but I will put my Goodreads and my Storygraph on there, so people can look at those if they would like to, and add me on there if you'd like to, and all of that. Yeah, I mean, I haven't planned for the next episode yet, so I don't know what we're going to talk about next. But yeah, I have a segment still that I'm going to talk about, which is upcoming releases. I think I might make like a proper thing that lists all of the pre-orders and stuff. Oh, okay, cool. Good to know. Thank you. Thank you. Good to know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think of stuff. Give me a sec. Sorry, I was just checking something. Right. Yeah, this has been really good, actually. I was really worried that I was going to talk for like an hour and then run out of things. I forgot that I am a professional yapper. So, yeah, thank you everyone as well for listening to me and also for talking to me about all these different things. I've learned a lot already. I definitely feel a lot more comfortable doing it, and I was so scared that no one was going to be here and I was going to be like talking to an empty chat for 2 hours. Oh my god, which is fine because obviously, you know, lurking is valid, but it helps to, you know, be able to respond to things, you know. Thank you. See, and that's another thing. I was worried that people just weren't going to care or just like not find it very interesting, you know. I'm glad. Yeah, no, that's honestly fine. Like I said, for anyone that either came in late or had to leave early, the VOD will obviously be on here, but they're also going to be on my YouTube forever. And then maybe not for this one, but maybe for future ones. If I'm doing like a segment on a specific topic, I might like cut it down into shorter videos as well. Yeah, I've really enjoyed myself. This is great. We're going to look for someone to raid now. Oops. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I was worried that people wouldn't enjoy this, but they have. Yay! I'm so grateful, man, honestly. Yeah, everyone's been really supportive. I look forward to doing more. I was going to talk about something before I left and I've completely forgotten. Oh man, there's quite a few people on, you know. Oh, who haven't we said hi to in a while? When was the last time we raided Pixie? I don't think we've raided Pixie in a while. And she was here earlier. And I appreciate that. So I want to say hello. Let me just double check. I mean, she obviously started after me, but I'm just checking that she's not like about to end. Because that's always my biggest fear, you know. One moment, please. Yeah, I've just been getting really like experimental again with the stuff I want to make. And yeah, I'm cooking, guys. I really appreciate everyone enjoying it. But yeah, if you want to talk more about books and maybe give me some recommendations, me have Discord. Look at that Discord. Whoa. I'm gonna set up the raid. So it is the last stream of the week. Next week, is it regular schedule next week? Yes, it is regular schedule next week. I have not decided what I'm doing yet, apart from obviously Resident Evil on Thursday. So look out for the schedule. It's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the normal time. I have not figured it out, but yes, thank you all. I've had a really good week in terms of the streaming, and yeah, I appreciate it very much. Look forward to seeing more of me. Teehee. So raid messages. This is if you have the subscriber emotes. This is if you do not have the subscriber emotes. Oh, my Streamlabs showing my throne. Oh yeah, also I've put books on throne, so you know. Also, you can suggest books for throne as well, if you want me to read something, and maybe I'll read it. We're gonna go hang out with Pixie. She's playing Dave the Diver. I don't know. I don't know what that game is. We're gonna go hang out there. So go and be nice. Use the raid messages. Pixie is lovely. We just keep referring to ourselves as proper geezers. She's my geezer in crime, you know. I love her so much. So we're gonna go hang out there. So yes, be nice. But I know that I say this every time, but for more now than ever, I really appreciate everyone being here. And I'm really grateful. You've kept me company as well, so I really appreciate that. Have a good weekend. No, not the rat. Oh, hang on. Let me cancel. Shit. Help. Uh-oh. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm about to end my stream. I am so sorry, but I really appreciate the raid. Hang on. Give me a second. Okay. What do I do? Okay, I'm gonna set up the raid again just while I finish. There we go. I am about to end, but I do really appreciate the raid. So thank you so much. Yeah, join us for the raid. We're going to pass it on. Just for a quick intro for you guys, though. I am Moog. I am an ice cream alien VTuber. I play horror games and other things, but sometimes I talk about books like this. Yeah, honestly, I did not know how this was going to go tonight. And it's gone really well. So I am very grateful. I'm so grateful. Now what do I do? This was awkward now. Okay. Why does it always end up chaotic? I was trying not to make it chaotic. And yet, here we are. Alright. Bear with. There we go. Okay, we're gonna go hang out with Pixie. So, go over there, use the raid messages, be nice, and again, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it very much. Please take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend. See you next week. I'll see you in the next scene. Bye-bye.